Hello everyone, this is Steve from Dark Side of the Wall. Firstly, and most importantly, I hope you're all keeping safe. What a weird time this is, huh? It's crazy, we've never known anything like it, obviously. Which brings me on to why am I sat in my office, my Dark Side of the Wall headquarters, talking to a screen. Not something I ever thought I'd be doing, but this has come about because I'm talking to Louise on the phone, Louise that is from the band, and she said, why don't we make some use of this downtime period actually. We're not on stage, we're not playing gigs, we're not even rehearsing, we can't do anything, so why don't we do a vlog? Now, I've only just learned to say that without spitting things all over my desk. So this is the first start of that. This is a little an introduction into what we intend to put out there. Hopefully it won't just be me talking, because we want to put some pics in and some little videos of the band performing and stuff like that. But the whole idea really is to give you an insight into who Dark Side of the Wall are, how we came about, what we do, what motivates us, how we do it, maybe the tribute band scene in general as well, and what we're going to do post COVID-19 and how the land will lie. Anybody's guess at the minute. Really, the uncertainty is one of the major concerns for all of us who play live music. At the start of this, I kind of took the positive view that there would be a big demand, really, for live music and entertainments in general. People are going to want to go out and have a good time again after this enforced lockdown. But obviously, we need the venues to survive, we need the sound and lighting crews to survive, and we need people to have disposable income. All of those things are, as I say, uncertain at the moment. Try not to worry about them, because we can't change anything, we can't really make any calls on that until we nearer that point when everything starts to recede a little bit and we see what new world we're entering. We, in the meantime, like I say, thought it'd be a nice idea to keep in touch with everybody and talk about the band, and hopefully not make it too boring, but give you an insight into everything that we do and why. We, as the name suggests, are a tribute band, and tribute band scene really has had a bit of, well, it gets knocked a lot, and particularly by fellow musicians more than anyone. Who don't see it as being very credible, but we all believe that live music is what you want of it, and it's no one's got the right to tell you what you can and can't play. And if people want to listen to it, then great. And of course, the tribute thing is a much bigger thing than just those tribute band. You know, that there's all sorts of artists who perform this kind of genre, if you like. You've got your individual solo performers who play in pubs, wear a wig and a costume, sing to backing tracks. Yeah, fair dues, great, they're entertaining. We are fortunate in doing Pink Floyd, I think, because right from the very beginning, their anonymity, which they went to great lengths to make sure was the case, and particularly on their album covers, they rarely put photos in of themselves. And let's face it, if you're sat in your local pub and a member of Pink Floyd came in, no one would know. So that affords us the opportunity to be ourselves and just let us concentrate on the music, and as I say, be ourselves on stage and not pretend to be somebody else. And I think that's one of the things that attracts me to doing what I do with Pink Floyd music and Pink Floyd tributing, and in particular Dark Side of the Wall. We started back in 1996. Well, when I say we, I mean I wasn't in it at that point. The late great John Wall was the founder member, along with his good friends Barry Page and Stuart Cosgrove. They started this band in Coventry back in 1996 for John's 50th birthday, in fact. John sadly passed away last year, much missed, great friend, and a lovely man, as well as an incredible guitar player. But John's legacy lives on, and I'm really proud of that fact. I'm so pleased that we still do what we do, and I know that John used to send me text messages prior to shows saying, have a good one tonight, lads, and even though he'd been gone from the band since 2004, actually. Looking back, I see Dark Side's sort of history being split into two eras. There was that initial band that started, which Pete Riley and I, who are still in it now, we joined that back in January 2000 after going to see the band one time and then offering our services and then getting a phone call, come along to an audition. Thankfully we joined, passed the audition, obviously joined, and here I am still doing it 20 odd years later. It's incredible. Never imagined that would be the case. But the thing is with Dark Side of the Wall, it has always had this turnover of musicians, and to my knowledge we've got 26, 27 people on our roll call, really, who've been a part of Dark Side of the Wall at some point over the years. We've had numerous sax players, backing vocalists, guitarists, drummers, percussionists, and it's all part of what has created this thing that we are all part of, and something that we love to talk about and immensely proud of. And we, going forward, know that whatever the lineup is, Dark Side of the Wall will always carry on. I likened it to Trigger's broom, actually, because it doesn't matter which component you replace or how many times, so long as the broom's still there, and we are that broom. There's some of us that have been around longer than others, of course, and the original band sort of left in back end of 2004, and 6 months prior to that we'd been recruiting new members. That's when we found Mick Freeman, our vocalist. That's when we found John Murdoch, a very busy man on acoustic guitar, electric guitar, keyboards, vocals, all that type of thing. And we also have found Andy Nixon as well, which enabled us to actually continue the band, because losing John Moore was a massive blow at the time. Andy gave us a good 14 years before he went off to do his own thing, and since then we've recruited Adrian on lead guitar, and anyone who's seen us over the last 18 months will know what a fine that's been. So every time someone does leave, it's always sad to see them go, but it gives us fresh impetus, strangely. The turnaround of musicians, it's just one of those things where it's life, it happens. We don't do this professionally, so people aren't staying in it for a career. You know, we do it for the love, we do it for the fun, importantly, and we're all great friends. Hopefully that comes across when you're watching us on stage as well. We, yeah, like I say, we don't do it for the money. God knows that would be quite tricky given how little we make from this. Pink Floyd shows are really expensive to put on, I must point that out, because if we were doing, I don't know, Status Quo or something from the early 70s and all you needed was a small PA and a few par cans, that'd be cool. But Floyd doing what they do, the visual aspect of the show, the lasers, the circle, the projection, the massive lighting rigs, the big sound system, all costs a lot of money. So we're always happy if we can cover those costs. And like I say, we do it for the fun. I've got friends who play golf, for instance. It costs them an absolute fortune to do that. So I'm quite relieved that my hobby, my passion is what it is, and we get a massive buzz from it as well. Where we're going to end up after coronavirus, who knows? We've got plans to do some new songs and everything, which this has sort of brought a halt to. I shan't tell you what they are right now, but one of them in particular really excites me. Maybe when I talk to other band members, which, by the way, is one of the things that we want to do here. We want to let you hear the voices of those people who rarely speak on stage. I mean, you hear a lot from me and Nick, but the others are fairly quiet, aren't they? Apart from Riley's manic laugh, of course, and Louise singing. So it'd be good to hear from them, how they do what they do, what motivates them, how they create the sounds they do. And interesting, I think with Adrian that would be a good one, because he's very technical, Mr. Gadget really, and I think it'd be good to get him to talk about how he achieves these sounds that he does in recreating the Dave Gilmour solos. We intend to intersperse this again with, like I say, lots of different things, and try and cover a few different subjects from band members, and maybe talk to some ex-band members as well. That would be interesting to see what they've gone on to, because we've had a number of extremely talented people in Dark Side of the Wall, and a number of them have gone on to greater things in terms of making music their profession, and it would be good to hear from them, and how hopefully Dark Side played a little bit of a role in that, and even see if they miss us a little bit. I think they do, they come to the shows, so that's cool. And also talk about Pink Floyd, of course. We play this particular genre of music, but Pink Floyd's music, it goes back decades, as you know. The back catalogue is massive. and it affords us an awful lot of opportunity to experiment, play different songs, different types of sounds. I mean, no one can tell me that something whimsical off, say, Meddle is anything like one of the bombastic tunes of The Wall, or even when we played the Gunner's Dream off Final Cut, which is quite an angry album, for instance. There's the more commercial end of it after Roger left and David Gilmour took over, and you had the Momentary Lapse of Reason and the Division Bell albums. We play songs from those. So the style of music is very diverse within that banner of Pink Floyd, and we look at that carefully in choosing what songs we play, how we learn them, how we even construct a live set. We could also talk about venues, where we play, why we play them, what the scene is like out there for getting new shows and the deals that you have to make with these venues, how you promote the shows. All of these things I think are quite interesting. They take up a lot of my time, I do know that. Sometimes I wouldn't mind just turning up at a gig having learnt the bass and that's it, and that's all I've got to do. But I get help, of course. The other band members do muck in, and particularly Mick, who's my co-manager. He sort of looks after the bank account. He also approaches new venues, and I know I couldn't do any of this without his invaluable help. But the main thing is we just have such a laugh doing it. Rehearsals are never a bind. We turn up, and I think the first half an hour is always spent just as a general chit-chat, and that's what we love. Our dressing room is a joyous place before and after a gig. It's just what Dark Side of the Wall are. I, for one, am immensely proud to be part of that, and I hope it goes on, and I hope that this set of vlogs will give you a little insight into exactly why that is the case. I'll wrap up this little introduction now, and hopefully you'll join us again, and hopefully Louise has stuck some photos in so it's not just my horrible mug the whole way through this. And we'll see you next time. Shine on.